Carl and Brendan here from Games, Brains and Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for sure. And it's battle reaction time, my turn to have a go. And for the third time appearing in this reaction series, it's my nomination for Grimgotts, who recently released a new single, well, a double single with a bonus track on it as well, that I reviewed over on the site. Loved it. Had a great blast of it. A lot of fun. And I thought, wow, yeah, me and Brendan said at the end of the last one, Grimgotts Calling, the last battle time Grimgotts appeared, that, yeah, I said to him, we'll definitely be coming back to these again because I had more in the tank. I still haven't touched on those tracks. They can wait. I thought, okay, let's do the new song, Ignite the Flame. No, and Brendan likely wouldn't have listened to it unprompted, so this forces him to listen to it.
It does indeed.
Hopeful?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I mean, like, I haven't hated Grimgotts throughout. I just felt they didn't quite. I didn't quite kind of get that, like, I don't know, that little moment of magic that, you know, you kind of hope you get with a song when you're listening to it. And, you know, despite the previously mentioned problems with the title, because technically a flame is already ignited, so you can ignite the stick to make the flame. It's quite difficult to ignite a flame that's already a flame. But aside from that, I don't know. You know what it's like, man. I want to like them. Yeah. I want to like them. It's just yeah. I don't know, man. Maybe this is the one. Maybe this is it.
Maybe this is it. I can only hope. I really like this track. So let's do this in 3, 2, 1, go.
Beautiful lyric. Yeah. I don't have any problems with it. I liked it a lot. Like I found that much more easier to get in. I think with the Grimgott songs that you've played to me so far, one thing like I liked in all of them was like the drums are great, the guitars are great, and all that sort of stuff. I just felt like in some of the other songs that, I think there was some like where I thought they were overly stretched and that sort of thing, and some of them are a bit cliched in the power metal sort of thing. Like every sort of top 10 things you have to do to make a power metal song are always kind of covered. And it was kind of the same as that again here, but it was just I did enjoy it. The song, I thought it was a very good song. Everything that I would have expected, like the big kind of epic intro, kind of building and building. Thought the verses were really, really cool. I was really enjoying them. The first time the chorus came up, I wasn't completely sold because like I know obviously the aim is to kind of go into the chorus and have this big emphatic sort of sing along chorus, and I wasn't really feeling that. But then after a couple of repeats in the chorus, you start kind of getting the lyrics in your head and that sort of stuff, and you're like, okay, yeah, I can kind of feel that a bit now. And then it did that thing at the end. It was like, oh, now we do the chorus again, but we're going to go up a level. And I was like, right, that's number 7. We got them all covered. But it's a really, it is good. I do like that one. I haven't got anything negative to say about it. I guess if anything, and I'm not trying to be negative for the reason. The only thing I would say with that is like, I don't know if there's meant to be like something I'm meant to know because I don't really understand the story. Like it sounds like it's a portion of a story. Like, do you know what I mean? Like if you was following a full power metal album, that maybe this was following a guy on, I don't know, whatever sort of quest it was, and this was a chapter of that quest. So I didn't really understand like what the story was. It was going from ignite the flame to rise with the stars using the moonlight as your guide. Then there was pain, like I think there was pain that was caged behind your eyes, and I felt like like maybe I was missing something.
Right.
It doesn't matter though. It didn't hurt the song for me. I enjoyed the song immensely. So
I mean, there is storytelling, of course. Tell Sagas and Legends will kind of give you detail on that, but it's not necessarily specific about that. I think. I mean, don't quote me on this. As far as I'm aware, ultimately after Tell Sagas and Legends, I think the whole point of this single release was based off the fact that, okay, look, Tell Sagas Legends 3 EPs came out like 2 years ago. We put the album together and added a few new songs, but let's get out there and do something else. So it's got, like I said, 2 new singles. And that third track is a track from their their first album. One of the earlier albums re-recorded and redone with like how it is now. One of the things I noticed quite different. Now, bear in mind, obviously, I've listened to Tell Sagas and Legends, the album. And if you've not necessarily Brendan, but other people watching, if you know that and listen to the album, there's a point in it where the quality and sound dips slightly when it moves to a different EP. And that was quite noticeable for me as well and stuff like that. Here, I think this might be the best produced track Grimgotts have put out. It certainly shows growth in that department where I'm like, okay, you're really, really hearing everything. It feels less like a power metal indie band, like like a underground band, and more like, okay, no, all right, this is a little bit of a step up from that. There's a lot more detail, particularly when it comes to the orchestration and stuff like that. The symphonic elements, which I think really, really stand out grandly here. And one of the things I quite ended up liking about it as well is that, well, structurally, as you say, it follows a lot of power metal tropes. And what do we say about tropes? Who cares if it's a trope if you're doing it really, really well? For me, that's what Grimgotts do. They do them really, really well. So I enjoyed them quite heavily on that front, particularly as power metal. It's not like we've got many new bands coming out. Anyway, I'm getting off the point. The point is that structurally, it never, until I got it myself the first time, for the first 2 minutes or so, and what I expected not always being hit, well, I'm like, okay, that chorus kind of didn't do this. Instead, in the last part of the chorus, he went down like more spoken rather than going for a high scream. Like, it was like, oh, that's different. That's different. I like that. Let's see what happens next and stuff like that. The strongest part of it, weirdly enough, and I normally don't pick out, when we've done these reactions, pick out individual stuff with Grimgotts. When we do it here, that drumming is fucking immense on that track. It really, really is. Some good shit going on there. But once again, I don't know what, I mean, I don't know what it is about Grimgotts. I do know what it is about Grimgotts, that it's just everything they do seems to just call to me. Like, it was so annoying. At the time of recording, I was on night shifts and they were playing a pub venue in Leytonstone. And I was at South Woodford and I was generally like, shit, they're the last band on. Can I do this and get to work and stuff like that? In the end, I wasn't able to. But like, that's it now. Now the mission is to get to see this band live for me. Like, I've heard this on record. I love it on record. I need to see these guys live.
Yeah. I mean, maybe what you said there, although I hadn't picked it out myself, but it would make sense that like, you know, the increase in the quality of the production, which might be one of the reasons why I like this, because for me, I guess good power metal in a way kind of can't be raw. Like it doesn't suit like the style. It wants to be clean. It wants to be easy to kind of pick out every instrument, you know, nicely put together. And so I don't know, maybe subconsciously that was a difference between this song and the previous ones, why this one was easier to click with me, because I don't know, when you started talking about it, I was thinking like, I hadn't noticed that, but I know if I'd have noticed that, I would have been bothered by the fact that the power metal was like raw, kind of not necessarily as well produced like this. So it might have just been that overall sort of sound subconsciously that was putting me off earlier tracks. But I like this one. Like I said, I just it's one song now. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I need to find a couple more that I like, because that's the worry in it. Is like, okay, so I've listened to, I don't know how many. This is the third one, maybe the third or fourth one that we've tried. And if it's third, then that's two I'm not sure about, one I like. So, you know, the next time around, I need to balance that equilibrium, don't I? And then it's like okay.
When you love, when you like.
Yeah, back to a neutral position with the band.
Yeah. Yeah, don't worry, they've got plenty more tracks. So we'll just get for the whole fucking album by the time we're done with this. So where does this one sit then? Win or lose?
Oh no, it's a win. I like this song. I do.
Okay.
It's the first Grimgotts win for me.
Okay. Is it? No way. I think you said I think I've won on the Grimgotts one, because you always go, you like it enough to not be a
sorry,
lose.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, like I like it. I like the other ones enough, but I couldn't quite understand exactly why you were so into it. I could understand it with this. If you'd have come at me first with this, I probably would have been, maybe, I know you couldn't have because it wasn't out, but if you had to come at me first with this, maybe this one I would have been like straight on it and then listen back to the older stuff and been completely fine with it because I appreciated the band now. Do you know what I mean?
So we won't be doing it as this set of recording sessions, but in a couple of months' time, I will definitely be bringing out a song called The Edge of the World by Grimgotts. So, and as I'm aware that Grimgotts do actually watch these reaction videos, they've commented and talked about them in the past.
I really like you all, honest.
The Edge of the World, that song, guys, will definitely be the next one I want to throw his way, because that is markedly different. And it's also one of my favorite tracks by you. So, yeah, awesome stuff. You know what to do. You got any thoughts on what we've said? Got any thoughts on Grimgotts? As always, I got to say this. Do you agree with me and they're just literally fucking awesome? Or do you agree with Brendan and you like them, but you're still not sold? You know what to do. Let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com, as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?